by the first week I had an interview. By week 2, I had 4 or 5. And then 30 days later, my 3rd weekend, I was in 3rd round interviews with 4 different companies. By week 4, about 30 days in, I had a job offer, and I was probably expecting 2 or 3 more coming as well.
I'm Samir. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tech Sales Mentors, and with me today I have Dalton, who comes from a sales background, but wanted better in his sales career and wanted to get into tech sales. So, Dalton, why don't you start off by just sharing a little bit more about what life was like for you before tech sales?
Yeah, so I graduated college, really didn't know what path I wanted to take. I was from a small town, so I didn't really know too much about software slash tech sales. I was in the construction real estate business for a while and then realized, I wanted to change. Started the application process in December, January, and went nowhere. So I was like, I gotta get cold calling experience. So I started selling insurance for 6 months. Then it's the 6 month, 5 or 6 month mark hit, and it's time to apply to jobs. And I was getting nowhere. You find out that every single of these jobs have over 3,000 applicants in a 3-day span. You got to stand out. So,
Yeah.
I figured whatever I got to do to, stand out. I saw the program and how it was a, money back guaranteed as well. I was like, you know what do I have to lose? And then I think exactly 30 days later, I landed a job.
That's crazy. 30 days. That's amazing. And so, to circle back, you were in the construction business. So in that role, you weren't doing sales, right? Just to confirm.
So I mean, you had to sell clients on, why we were better, but it's not a sales process. It's a phone call meetings. They're interested. You're kind of just, they do want to, they're going to build a house. It's just why you instead of another contractor, but it's not like an actual sales role.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And so then, um, at that time, like, then you made the next step to like, I want to get into a sales role. And that's when you went into like, was it life insurance you said?
Yeah, so I did real estate and construction at the same time. I did real estate part time. I had my license about I was out of college. I've been out of college for exactly 2 years now. And about the year and a half mark out of college, I was like, you know what? I want to do more. I want to get out the hometown. Started researching, sales roles, and I thought, software is the way to go. I knew that I wanted to have a leg up, so I got cold call experience first with real estate, insurance first, and then that's where I'm here now.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And so it sounds like that's good that you did your diligence on like what sales industry
Yeah.
is right for me. You actually experienced a different one before you got into tech. Tell me about like what is not as great about another sales industry that, you felt differently with tech sales.
Well, so with tech sales, first of all, you're with the company, so you get benefits, 401k, you get PTO. With some other industries, you're a 1099 employee, you have no benefits, and a big one's commission only. So you might have a bad week, and you didn't do too good. It's commission only, and with the software sales, you always want to be the number one sales rep, but you also do have a little blanket of security as well.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And then
Yeah, I
the,
think
scalability of, you start as an SDR, you can be an account executive in, 3 to 5 years, and, the sky's the limit, software sales, the whole software space, it's gonna keep growing and growing and growing as well.
yeah. Yeah, and I think I may have lost you for a second. Are you still there? Just
Yeah, I'm
want
still here.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I think one thing that's interesting there is like sometimes, in these all commission roles, they say something like, you eat what you kill,
Yeah.
right? And oh, like you don't need a base salary. Like, are you
Mhm.
kind of like scared you're not gonna make it as a sales rep? And to me, that just sounds like the biggest bullshit like ever. It's just like
Mhm.
there not every month is going to be up and to the right. And that's what I think is cool about tech is like they understand they want to attract better talent and they're going to demand a base salary. And why not with your sales career be in a better deal where
Yeah.
where you can get that. So I totally hear you there. So then how'd you like come across us? How did
TikTok. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I saw the ads for probably, 2 weeks. And, I clicked on it, like, probably, 3 or 4 times, and then over the, course of 2 to 3 weeks, I was applying, getting nowhere. I was doing my email outreach and, just wasn't hearing anything back. And then, I had the call, the original call with y'all, and just, the money back guarantee, y'all have the reviews of, out of 900 out of 1,000 applicants, 93% success rate. I was like, you know what? I mean, I'm at a position, I got nothing to lose. Let's go for it.
Yeah, totally. And, could you talk a little bit more about, like, I think you said, you were applying for you said a few weeks or,
Yeah, so I did like before insurance, I think I applied for probably 2 months. I might have had one or two, recruiting emails, didn't really have the experience, didn't give me the time of day. Then I was applying for another, probably month or two. And then that's, the ads kept coming up and then I bit the bullet.
yeah, gotcha. Um, and, like, when it came to working with us, like, tell me more about, you know, what you were hoping we'd solve for you,
So
and,
I'll just, I'll give you what I hope y'all solve. Then, then I guess you probably ask the question next, but, just kind of what else experiences too is, my number one thing is, first of all, I didn't know how complicated the interview process was. My whole goal with y'all was, the job guarantee and then getting my foot in the door of interviews. I was like, if I can get an interview, I can definitely sell myself. But, you join the program, I had the mock call with Aline and, you realize that these interviews are a lot of process too. It's not, you can't just, kind of sell yourself on what to say. You got to actually know what to say as well.
yeah. Yeah, and can you, like, think of an example of, like, I was approaching this answer in this way versus, like, Aline helped me think about it in this way, like, anything there?
Yeah, I mean, like, when you're in an interview, this it's maybe the first phone call with the recruiter. It's a basic, yeah, tell me about yourself, or like, why us? You're thinking the basic, oh, found this job on LinkedIn, want to do SDR. You might go a little detail about yourself. With Aline helping me out, is okay. You have ABC of why their company. Why do you want to work with them? And I think that helps tremendous. I mean, it gives you, maybe you might have been better than the other people they were interviewing anyway. But with the ABC steps of why their company, why tell me about yourself. She helped me tell me more about myself. And anyway, so it's, even if you did have a little leg up with what the mentor tells you, you're gonna have a tremendous leg up on anything of what to say.
Yeah, totally. I swear, like, 90% of candidates say that to me, like, "Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
applied to your company because I saw it on LinkedIn," and technically it's true, and it makes sense, but, you want to show you're actually interested in this company,
Yeah.
and so that's great. I'm glad that worked out with her. And so, sounds like, originally, the problem you thought you had was, like, getting into interviews, like, how did we help there?
So, I want to say it was, the first 3 days of the program is onboarding, and then the Aline gave me an on like, a mock call to make sure you're prepared to go through the interviews. And I think by the first week I had an interview. By week two, I had 4 or 5, and then 30 days later, my third weekend, I was in third round interviews with 4 different companies. By week four, about 30 days in, I had a job offer, and I was probably expecting 2 or 3 more coming as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, tell me more about, like, the company you ultimately decided on, the offer, like, what you think about it.
Yeah, so, first of all, when I first joined the program, I didn't know you don't even software sales is the new thing. You don't really know too much about it. You just know you're selling a software, whether it's payroll, and automation system, you're selling something. Well, on the interview process, when you actually start to do research on these companies as well, you find out what actually interests you and, what you see yourself working for. The company I went to does auto body shop software. And after the first interview with them and reviewing the product, I was like, this is a place I want to do. And, fourth round of this interview, I got the job. But yeah, you actually, when you go through the process of interviewing and researching the companies, you end up finding companies that you actually have a passion for and interest in as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so exciting. And so, as it relates to now you've broken into the industry, super
Yeah.
exciting. Like, where are you hoping, like, this all goes over the next, few years?
I want to go to the top, account executive. I love helping people. I love coaching. So I'd love to do a sales manager route as well.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's super exciting, and I know those roles pay pretty well. So, hoping you get there fast.
Thank you.
Um, if you were to, let's say someone's watching this, they're
Yeah.
considering TSM, what would you kind of say to them? Would you tell them it's worth it? Like, we're obviously not cheap. What would you tell them?
I mean, I'd say first of all, what do you have to lose? I mean, if you're looking at the program to begin with, something's missing you off of why you can't get a job. I mean, they make it clear that's a money back guarantee. I got a job in 30 days. It might be stressful. They did such a payment plan option. there's nothing, you have nothing to lose. If it fails, which 93% success rate, you probably won't fail. But you really have nothing to lose if you look in this program anyway. Just buy the bullet and go for it. And 30 days later, I landed a software sales job. I had two different towns I was applying for a month and a half, and might have had 3 or 4 interviews.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for your time, Dalton. Really, really excited for you. And it's cool to see someone who's like, I watched your call with
Yeah.
Chris, and I can tell you were like super humble and confident at the same time. And balancing those two things is an amazing art. And so excited for you to show that off in your sales role. And so I'll leave your LinkedIn below if anyone wants to connect with you. And for anyone interested in starting their next tech sales job or career in the next 60 days or maybe 30 days like Dalton, I'll leave a link below where you can check us out as well. Cool. Thanks, Dalton.